The essence of being human is that we solve problems. And when we're faced with enormous problems like disease and climate change, we need to solve them by collaboration. Over the past decade, I've been at the forefront of developing a revolutionary technology called Crispr.
Designer babies. Just hearing the term might make you think of science fiction, but it's fast becoming a real possibility thanks to advances in genetic engineering. The idea of selecting traits for your future childlike intelligence, athleticism, or even eye color sounds futuristic, but we're closer to it than you might think. With the power to edit human DNA in our hands, we face a big question. Should we? Let's explore the ethics surrounding designer babies and the potential consequences of altering our genetic code. Before we get into the ethics, let's break down what genetic engineering really is. In simple terms, it's the process of altering DNA, which is basically the blueprint of all living things. DNA determines everything about us, our appearance, our health, and even our predispositions to certain talents or diseases. Now, with tools like CRISPR, clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats, scientists can literally edit DNA by cutting out sections and replacing them with something new. This technique was first developed to target specific genes in animals, plants, and now humans. So what does this mean for babies? Well, scientists could, in theory, alter the genetic code of embryos before they're even born. Want a child with blue eyes and above-average intelligence? Soon, that could be a reality. The term designer babies refers to children whose genetic makeup has been selected or altered to ensure certain traits. While it's not happening on a wide scale just yet, science is advancing faster than our laws and ethics can keep up. But here's where it gets controversial. How far is too far? While using genetic engineering to prevent genetic diseases is widely accepted, choosing a baby's traits for non-medical reasons brings up a whole new set of ethical questions. Picture this. You walk into a futuristic clinic and they hand you a menu of traits for your future baby. You can select everything: hair color, eye color, height, intelligence, athletic ability, and even talents like music or math. It sounds like the ultimate dream for parents, right? The chance to craft the perfect child. But hold on. While this might seem like the future of parenting, it also opens Pandora's box. If everyone starts choosing the best traits, we could see a society where people begin to look, think, and even act the same. The beautiful diversity that makes us human could slowly fade away. And what about creativity, uniqueness, or the random quirks that make each person special? There's also the glaring issue of class. Will this groundbreaking technology be accessible to everyone, or just the wealthy elite? If only the rich can afford to genetically enhance their children, we could be looking at an even wider gap between the rich and the poor. Imagine a future where the wealthy produce super children while the rest are left behind. It's like something straight out of a dystopian sci-fi movie, raising a crucial question. Is this a dream we should really be chasing? Now here's where things get really tricky. Just because we have the ability to alter human DNA, does that mean we should? On the surface, the idea of curing genetic diseases sounds like a breakthrough, a gift to humanity. But what happens when we go beyond curing diseases and start editing DNA for non-medical reasons, like choosing physical traits or enhancing intelligence? Suddenly, we're wading into some seriously murky ethical waters. One of the biggest concerns is the idea of playing God. Should we really have the power to decide which traits are desirable and which ones aren't? This line of thinking has unsettling echoes of eugenics, a dark period in human history where certain groups were deemed genetically superior to others. The idea of controlling human traits could lead to the dangerous notion of what constitutes a perfect human, pushing society in unsettling directions. Then, there's the issue of consent. Babies obviously can't give permission to have their DNA altered. Is it fair to make such life-altering decisions for someone before they're even born? The choices made could have permanent, irreversible effects, raising serious ethical concerns about whether we should be making these decisions at all. So maybe you're thinking, why not embrace genetic engineering if it can improve lives? Well, it's not that simple. While CRISPR and other gene editing technologies are groundbreaking, they're far from perfect. CRISPR is still in its early stages, and the risks are significant. One of the biggest concerns is what scientists call off-target effects. This happens when the gene editing tool snips the wrong section of DNA, leading to unintended changes. When you're dealing with the human genome, these unintended changes could have life-altering consequences, or worse, they could be deadly. Think about it. What if, in trying to eliminate one genetic disorder, we accidentally create a new, even more serious one? Or what if we fix a short-term issue, but create long-term health problems that won't appear for generations? That's the terrifying unknown of gene editing. We simply don't fully understand all the long-term effects, and once those changes are made, they're permanent. There's no undo button when it comes to human DNA. So while the technology is promising, the risks are enormous. Are we truly ready to embrace something so powerful and unpredictable, especially when the stakes are so high? Let's talk about something that made global headlines: the Crispr babies. Back in 2018, a Chinese scientist claimed to have edited the genes of 2 embryos to make them resistant to HIV. Sounds like a noble cause, right? But the backlash was immediate and fierce. Why? Well, first off, it was seen as premature. The scientific community wasn't ready to jump into human trials yet. The risks weren't fully understood, and there was little to no oversight in the process. Plus, the changes were made not to cure an existing condition, but to give the babies immunity to a potential future illness. This felt more like genetic enhancement than treatment, and that made people uneasy. The experiment raised ethical questions about consent, oversight, and the unknown risks of such procedures. The scientist was eventually sentenced to prison, but the questions he raised about the future of genetic engineering remain. Now, it's not all doom and gloom when it comes to genetic engineering. Let's shift the focus to the brighter side. One of the most exciting potential benefits is the ability to eliminate genetic diseases. Imagine a future where conditions like Huntington's disease, cystic fibrosis, or even certain forms of cancer are completely wiped out. For families who have lived in fear of passing on these inherited diseases, this could be life-changing. It's no exaggeration to say that gene editing could revolutionize medicine. But the benefits don't stop there. Gene editing has the potential to extend human life by preventing diseases before they even have a chance to develop. Instead of waiting for symptoms to appear and then treating them, we could intervene at the genetic level, essentially stopping diseases in their tracks. For instance, heart disease, which is the leading cause of death worldwide, could be tackled by editing genes that predispose people to it. Beyond curing diseases, genetic engineering could enhance our resilience to environmental factors or even slow down the aging process. It's a future that, for many, seems incredibly promising, one where we live longer, healthier lives, free from the genetic conditions that have plagued humanity for centuries. So, where does this leave us? We're standing on the edge of a revolution in biology. Genetic engineering has the potential to reshape humanity in ways we can't even fully grasp yet. But as with any powerful tool, it comes with great responsibility. Moving forward, there needs to be a global conversation about how we use this technology. Should there be stricter regulations? How do we ensure that gene editing is used for good, not for harm? And perhaps most importantly, how do we navigate the ethical minefield that is the creation of designer babies? The future is uncertain, but one thing's for sure, we need to tread carefully. And that brings us to the end of this look into designer babies and the ethics of genetic engineering. It's a complex issue with no easy answers. What do you think? Should we use this technology to enhance future generations, or are we messing with forces we don't fully understand? Let me know in the comments.